Hello. Welcome to our next chapter, that is next standard, that is your essay 330. Now, essay 330, this is a purely English batch. So, essay 330 is responses to assessed risk. So, once you have identified the risk, you have to determine what action you have to take, what response you have to take. So, this essay covers response to assessed risk. Now, your objective is to obtain sufficient and appropriate evidence about assessed risk of material misstatement through design and implementing appropriate responses. That is, you will have to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence about the RMM, that is, about the risk of material misstatement, and you will also have to implement an appropriate response. Great. Next is your test of controls. Now, test of controls, every organization has some controls in place. Every organization has some controls in place to prevent, detect, and correct material misstatements. So, you auditor test whether those controls are working effectively or not. So, these are procedures designed to evaluate the operating effectiveness of controls in preventing, detecting, and correcting material misstatement. Okay, so this is a function of internal controls. They have to prevent, detect, and correct. PDC, prevent, detect, correct. Okay, so prevent, detect, and correct material misstatements at the assertion level. Your assertion level includes your account balances, transactions, and disclosures. These are your three things. So, what is the process? Obtain audit evidence with respect to application of controls and consistency of application. That is, whether I have applied the controls or not, and whether these controls have been applied consistently. That is, consistently throughout the audit period, consistently through all transactions or disclosures. Okay. Second is, you will evaluate the audit evidence that you receive. Any material weakness identified should be communicated to whom? Management and TCWG. Great, easy process, nothing much to focus on. Now, what are my special considerations? What do I have to take for different things? So, your first situation is when you are using audit evidence obtained in an interim period. For example, your audit period is for 12 months. Suppose you have already audited last 8 months, you just need 4 months extra. You have already, during an interim audit, you have already audited for 8 months. So, is it necessary that I have to do those audit for those 8 months again? No. So, what do you have to do? You have to obtain audit evidence for significant changes subsequent to interim period, or any changes that have happened after the interim period. You will have to obtain audit evidence for those changes. And second is determining additional evidence to be obtained for remaining period. What is the evidence of, what is the additional evidence that you have to obtain for the remaining period? So, you have already audited for 8 months. What more audit evidence you need for the balance 4 months? Now, next is your using audit evidence obtained during previous periods. So, you will have to establish continuing relevance of evidence by determining changes subsequent to previous audit. Suppose you are using the audit evidence obtained from previous audit, so you will have to determine whether that evidence is relevant or not by determining any changes subsequent to the previous audit. Your first part is changes occur. If there are changes, then you will test the controls in the current audit. You will have to test the controls. However, if there are no changes, then what do? You test the controls once in 3 audits. Okay, so if there are no changes, in the control, you might test it once in 3 audit. But if there are changes, you will have to test it in the current audit. You cannot do that I will only test changes. You will have to test the entire controls in the current audit. Okay. Now, what are the factors warranting retest of control? That is when I might be required to test the controls again. That is if there is a deficient in control environment. Second is if there is a significant manual element to relevant controls. If the controls are automated, then there is a possible way that your risk of material misstatement might be low, because humans are prone to errors but systems are not. So if there is any manual intervention, any manual element, then you will have to retest controls. Third is changing circumstances that indicate need for changes in controls. Any circumstances which show that you have to check these controls against, there is a need for changes in control. Then your D point is deficient control monitoring. That is the monitoring, that is the client that monitors the controls, they are not monitoring the correct way. So that is any deficiency. And last is deficient general IT controls. Now your system IT controls or your internal controls, your system controls will affect your internal controls, because your internal controls are nothing but automated. The ones that are automated, if your general IT controls are only weak, then your internal controls will also be weak. So in that case, you will have to check your retest internal controls. And last part is substantive procedures. These are procedures designed to detect material misstatement at assertion level. Assertion level are three things. What are those? First is transaction, your second and third. So second is account balances, and third is your presentation and disclosure. Okay, so this is divided into two parts. First is test of details, and second is your substantive analytical procedures. Your test of details will include your transaction, accounting balance, and disclosures. Okay, now external confirmation procedures as substantive procedure. When will you determine, when will you decide whether your external confirmation that you have obtained, can I count this as substantive procedures or not? So auditor will have to consider whether external confirmation procedures to be performed as substantive analytical procedures. What are the factors assisting the auditor? So there are three factors, that is confirming party knowledge of subject matter, that is the third party that you have communicated with. Do they know why you are communicating, so that they will take the matter seriously. Second is your ability and willingness of intended confirming party to respond, whether willingness of the party to respond, whether will the party to respond, whether will the party respond to you or not. And third is your objectivity of intending party. Objectivity is whether they have a clear mind, whether they have a clear heart, that is, will they tell you everything truthfully or not. So that is your objectivity of intending party. If all of these are positive, then you might consider that the external confirmation that you have obtained, you can use it as substantive procedure. Is this clear? We are just coming to the end. Your last part is your closing process. So closing process, you will have to reconcile your financial statements with underlying accounting records. Your financial statements are made from accounting records, right? So both of these should match with each other. So you will have to reconcile your financial statement and your accounting records. And next part is examine material journal entries. Remember, material we have studied in essay 320. So you'll have to examine material journal entries and other adjustments made during the course of preparing the financial statement. Any material journal entry, you should check whether the correct entry has passed, whether the correct accounts have been hit, whether the amount is correct or not. Next part is any significant risk, that is procedures specifically responsive to that risk need to be applied. If you have identified any significant risk, then you have to design special procedures that directly hit those risks that are responsive to that risk. And next is your timing. When substantive procedures are applied for interim period, the auditor shall cover remaining period by appropriate procedure. That is, when some part of the audit had been done during the interim period, when some substantive procedures were applied during the interim period, the remaining period shall be covered by doing the appropriate procedures. Correct? And by this we are done with your essay 330, that is your essay 300 series has been completed.